We're at the bottom of the hour here. Basketball. The Celtics look ridiculously good. They're hosting the hot Hornets. This could easily be a first-round matchup in the playoffs. Is everyone paying attention, Vinny, to how good LaMelo Ball is?
No, they're not. He is super talented, I think, because he's played so wild throughout the course of his career. He thought of him as being an unserious player
Look at this.
On an unserious team. But look at that talent.
That's a three off of one leg. He had 23 points in the first half, and the Hornets had a 6-point lead in Boston. Now we got just over a minute to go in the third. Celtics have made it a 4-point game. This is Baylor Shireman in the corner. No, but stay with the play. We're going to get it to Peyton Pritchard, and he's money from three.
Check in.
Celtics
Check in.
down one. Less than a minute to go now in the third. Jaylen Brown working that fadeaway. Celtics take the lead. Next possession. Brown, stay with him. Court to court, coast to coast.
Low pickup, high finish, like it.
He had 27 through 3. Celtics by 3. Fourth quarter we go. Hornets are down by 5. But here comes a Knipple triple. No, Hornets cut it to 2.
I like that green.
Trademark. A few plays later, Celtics have the ball.
I still got the handle. Get off me.
And he puts it up and good. He had 23. What are you seeing from him right now, Shump? Tatum looks pretty good.
I just think he's aggressive, man. He's picking his spots, too. And the best thing about it is he's not getting in Jaylen Brown's way at all.
Nah, no one got in Jaylen Brown's way on that one. Brown had 35. Tatum had 23. Celtics win their 4th in a row. Again, remember, that's a good team they played last night. That
Kemba Walker sighting.
Of the matchup, yeah, there's Kemba. Celtics, so here we go. The Celtics will be taking on the Knicks at the Garden tomorrow. The Celtics can clinch the 2 seed with that win. In that scenario, Boston's first-round opponent will be the winner of the 7-8 game. So there is a scenario in which it could be the Hornets. We'll have to wait and see all of that. But it feels like a big game tomorrow night in a lot of ways. It's Tatum returning to the Garden, the scene of the crime, if you will, where he blew the Achilles out last year and all the rest of that has happened. Feels like a very big game for a lot of reasons.
A big game for, look, the Knicks. We all know how we feel about trust issues with the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
Being able to play the Celtics, looking the way that they look, if they can get a win, if the Celtics put everything out there, that'll be a big boost of confidence. For me, Greeny, it's that 3-4, not the 2-3. The 3-4 is so interesting to me because you have New York and you have Cleveland, a game apart. What's the difference in that? You're in 3, you get Boston. You're in 4, you get Detroit in round 2. Cleveland is telegraphing to everybody, we want to avoid the Celtics, which means you want to go play the rough and tumble Detroit Pistons in round 2. You're telling everybody, to me, Greeny, you're playing with the basketball gods, and you're telling me that the team that operates out of spite, you want to give them extra fuel? Kenny Atkinson is out there saying that.
Yeah.
It says, this is where we want to sit in the bracket. Go play with something safe. That's a tricky thing. I don't think Detroit is what you want.
Also, you're projecting already ahead to the second round.
Yeah,
and we had this conversation yesterday here, Shump, that before you get to the second round, whoever finishes 4 is going to have to deal with the Atlanta Hawks, and that's no easy.
I live in Atlanta. Yeah. I wouldn't want to deal with the Hawks first because they're exactly what I see when I see the Charlotte Hornets. They are a bunch of guys that they don't really have a lot of expectation on them, but they have all the talent in the world. They have all the fun going on, all the feel-good feels, the vibes. They make sure to bring a highlight version of basketball, and when they really get rolling, you start to look at them and say, how good can they be? I don't want to play a team like that first round, and I damn sure don't want to guarantee that I'm going to do something like that in round 2.
Right.
Because now you're disrespecting two franchises.
And not just that, you're a team that historically has had problems with toughness. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley are skinny dudes, not big dudes. And then you're going to put in their face Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
And then tell them, we want you. Like Detroit can go and tell New York, we want to play you guys. And that hasn't come back to bite them. But for Cleveland, who has a lot to play for this offseason, right? LeBron may go there, James Harden's future, Donovan Mitchell's future, and that's the path you want to take. You're disrespecting a team.
Without a doubt. And I think that their backcourt is heavy with pressuring guards as
Absolutely.
well. It doesn't get talked about, but it's like James Harden has had some question marks next to his name as far as the turnover department. It'll be interesting to see.
Let me quickly circle it back, though. Cindy, can I quickly see C8? Because I just want to go back all the way back to Boston very quickly Tatum and Brown continuing their recent dominance. Brown has 10 straight 25-point games. Tatum has scored 20 or more in 6 straight games, averaging 25. He is rounding into form. I'm going to ask the question right now. Shump, I've been saying this from the minute I watched Tatum walk out on that first game and look so much better than I expected and play so much longer than I expected. Is anybody beating them in the East?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But the thing about the East that's interesting, everybody seems to have a pretty good core, and everybody seems to have one or two guys that can push them over the top. So I think that if they let people hang around, they can definitely be in a battle with anybody. You got to remember, this is a New York Knicks team that beat this team before the injury was going to happen. They were going to lose that game anyway.
What do you think, Vinny?
I think
anybody beating the Celtics this year?
I think you can. Like, for one, let's see how Jason Tatum plays when you're playing every other night, playing 40 minutes on that, not an injury, but on that recovery. Right? He's still in a rehab sort of process. He's just playing through it. The East is so much more matchup related. Like, Detroit has problems with some teams. The Knicks have problems with some teams. There's no team that's head and shoulders above the rest. Even the Celtics, as good as they are, they have a lot of playoff inexperience on that team. The Baylor Shiremans of the world, the name is Cadus. Like, you got to see those guys in a playoff situation before you're saying for sure, because you have Tatum and Brown at the top. This is parity in the NBA.
All right, we'll find out. Tomorrow night, we've got our final Wednesday doubleheader of the season as we are in the final week. The Hawks take on Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs at 7 Eastern. Then the Spurs host the Trailblazers. NBA Countdown crew will tip off our coverage at 6:30 Eastern time. Get my football guys in here. The Giants began their offseason program yesterday. Their first under John Harbaugh. Noticeably absent was Dexter Lawrence. Sexy Dexy. We know he has made a trade request. John Harbaugh, I'm going to paraphrase what he said yesterday. I don't want to take the time up here to play it for you. But John Harbaugh basically said, in a very politically correct way, we want him back. But that's what you say. Do you, if you were the New York Giants right now, I got Lewis and Harry Douglas with me. If you're the New York Giants right now, you trading away Dexter Lawrence?
I would be very reluctant to do so. I mean, you got a guy on the right side of 30 years old. He's one of the most double-team defensive tackles in the National Football League because of the fact that the guy can push the pocket. His production dipped a little bit this year, but that's not indicative of where he's at in his career. This is a team that really struggled to stop the run this year. What's your next best alternative? You're not real deep at the position. You're going to really replace this guy, you know, when it comes to the draft. You think you're going to get a one-for-one exchange there? Probably not. But this really just comes down to money. That's what it's going to come down to. Dex wants to be paid. He wants to be paid like some of the best interior players in the NFL, which is upward around $30 million per year, right around that area. And he is underpaid right now, relatively speaking. We'll see how this goes.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the Dexter Lawrence situation. But of all the things that came out of the Giants yesterday, that, to me, was not the most interesting one. The most interesting one was Matt Nagy. He's the Giants' first-year offensive coordinator. And he was asked about the quarterback that he's there to continue grooming, and that's Jackson Dart. And listen to what the coach said.
And I remember then at the combine, us not really being in the quarterback market, watching him, you could see this moxie that he had, and he had this it factor. When I got here to New York and got to meet him, you could tell right away that everything was true. I mean, this kid is different that way. I know he had a great year last year, but we want to make it even better and continue to have him grow, and I want to be there to help him.